Oops. Okay. Okay, if they are. Okay. Okay, can I? Okay. Good evening, class. Welcome to another segment of CSC 333, which is our computer application. Before we go to that, kindly, how was the test this morning? I believe you did well. Um, Best of luck as you prepare for your exam. So this evening we'll be talking on some software packages, application in which you will be introduced to some software packages like Microsoft Word and spreadsheet packages and database applications. Um, Okay, this is lecture 5, and the objective of this lesson is that you'll be introduced to database file management. So how do we store our file, and where do we store our file? Then also spreadsheet packages, and also SPSS, in which part of the database and Word document we are going to be talking on or speaking on Microsoft Word as well. That's the learning outcome for this study. So this is the course content. Majorly, we are going to be focusing on operating system, database, and standard packages, which are PowerPoint, word processing, Excel, and Access, in which you are going to need them as you proceed in or as you progress in your studies. So there's no way we talk about the spreadsheet packages or computer application that will not make mention of operating system. What is operating system? This is not a new thing to you. You use a lot of devices that are connected, like you use your phone and you use also laptop. And before you can interact with your devices, you need what is called operating system. Like on the laptop, we have various operating system. Like we have Windows operating system, and we have the Linux or the Unix operating system. Same thing is applicable to your phone. If there is no operating system on your phone, there's no way you're going to you'll be able to interact with your phone. So we can define operating system as an application or as a system software that acts as an intermediate or an interface between you, the user, and the computer hardware. Are we together? Am I communicating? Okay, so an operating system is a program that allows competing programs to share the resource file. That is, they allow you to perform a lot of operating system, and it allows you to perform a lot of functions on your devices, be it phone, be it laptop, and the like. So every computer needs an operating system, just like what I said earlier. You need operating system to be able to interact with your devices. So what are now the functions of these Windows operating system? Because most of us, or most of you, you're familiar with Windows, and that's what we use mostly. Like Windows, various type of Windows that we have, like starting from Windows NT, Windows Me, Windows Vistas, Windows 7, Windows 10, and Windows 11 that we have currently. So it allows you to access application, just like you have a phone and you don't install there's no operating system on it. And what are the operating system on your phone? Like the Android is an operating system. The iOS is an operating system. Like you did know, there is no Android operating system on your phone. If you are the one that use Android phone, there is no way you'll be able to call out. There is no way you'll be able to install other applications on your system on your phone. So same thing is applicable to your laptop. If there is no operating system on the laptop, be it Windows or Unix, there's no way you'll be able to install programs or install application. Then also it allow you to load any programs to the system, just like the way you can load or store or save data or save number on your phone. So if there is no operating system, there's no way you'll be able to load any program. Like what are the programs we're talking about? Like the Microsoft Word that you use to type, the Microsoft Excel that you use to do some calculation, and the Microsoft Access or the Microsoft PowerPoint that you use to do presentation, just like what you have on your screen now. And it helps us to manage hardware such as printer, scanner, mouse, and digital camera. So these are the functions of operating system. Then how do you load operating system? Then, or what are the laboratory activities on the operating system? I think by the time we get to the lab week, then we talk about all this. So database, just like you have your bag that you move around, you have your purse that you move around. So, and what do you do with this? You put your items in there, like your phone, your book, and the likes inside your bag. So your bag is what is a temporary storage. So database is what we call a repository that we use to save or to store data in order to eliminate what we call redundancy or duplication. So when we're talking about database, like where you gather your items together, a container that you put your items in is what we call a database. And there's no way we talk about database and we won't talk about data. So data is we can call it a basic raw fact, like anything, like your name, your age, your gender, and the likes. They are data. They are basic raw facts. They are meaningless until you make it you process it. Then what is now database? That's the collection of data that are organized to meet the user requirement. Like the collection of all your items that you put together in your bag is a database. So what is now the database management system? So a database management system is a software that you use to create, to modify, and to edit your data. So DBMS is a collection of programs that enables you to store and to modify or to extract information from the database. So some examples of database application: a computerized library, like maybe the traditional way of collecting books from the library is that you go to the library, you register it and the likes. But now you don't need to go there. You can do it online, or your record will be saved in their own computer. Then another thing is automated teller machine, like the ATM that you use now and then is also an example of database, because your data as well has been loaded on the machine. That whenever you get there, that's a data that is saved in the cloud. Whenever you get there, you slot in your card, you put in your correct PIN, then it will fetch out your data, like welcome, share, or whatever the case may be. So from a technical point of view, you can say database refers to a widely something which is, it can be in form of a relation, that is a table, then it can be in form of a network, a flat, and an hierarchy. Then what do we use request information? How do you request information from your database? Like you use some query, we call it structural query language, SQL. It is use query to extract data from your database, just like you have your bag that have a lot of things. Like if you want to pick something from your bag, you do what? You try to open the zip, then you check it. What you want to pick, then you pick it out. So, but for the sake for the aspect of DBMS, you use what we call query, and part of which we use the select case, like select all where name. That is what this is telling us, that we have a table that contains students' record, and we want to select people with age 35 and above. So just using this query, we give us record of students that are of 35 and age 35 and above. So the information from a database can be presented in a variety of formats. Just like I said, you can it can be as a report that you display out for people, like a form that you see. Then it can be in a table format that you extract out, that you save in Excel or other stuff. Then it can also be in a graph or in a chart format. So this is one example of how your information can look like. See, this is a form that you can display. Then it can also be in form of a table, just like a row and column table. So what are the terminologies that we use in database? We have the database as a collection of integrated and related files. We have files, then a collection of related records. We have record, which is the collection of related file. Then we have feed, that's a group of character, and we have a character which represents the building block of an information. Then we have entity. So it can be a name of a person and the likes. Then we have an attribute. Then we have so entity can be the head, like a table head, while the attributes are the data, the value that the entity can hold, just like in a column. Then we have key. Your key can be what you can use to identify a particular table or a particular record. Just like your house, you have a key. So if your key is correct, then you'll be able to open your room. Else you won't be able to open it. Just like here, this is another form of a table that we're talking about. Like we have an employee table. This is what we call an entity. Say the employee, the last name, the first name, and the like. Why all these are they are record, they are the attributes of this table. So we have the attributes, we have the key. Why this is the key? Like this column is what we call or what we name as the key. Like you can see that we have what they are unique for each um, of the employee, just like your matric number. You can't have two students with the same matric number. It's not possible. So your matric number is a key. That is, we call it primary key, which is uniquely identified, which can be used to identify you uniquely. It is, if I need any information about you, just give me your matric number. I'll supply your matric number in the database. Then what will fetch your record out for me. So what are now the traditional approach to database? Like before we have what we call a database, how do we save our record? Or what are the traditional approach is that files they are saved separately in different container. Just like we have here. Like if you want to work on a payroll, we have separate application for it. If you want to work on an invoice, we have separate application for it. All this makes the data to be in isolation. That is, there's atomicity in the data, in the sense that the data here, the data in the payroll may be different from the data in the invoicing, and also may be different from the data in the inventory and management system. What do I mean? Like if you have a record here, you want to update your record. If you update your record in this first one, it may not be updated here because it's of different program. That's the problem of the traditional approach to database. So you can see data redundancy. We have duplication. What do we mean? Like duplication here, we have your name will be here, your name will also be here, will also be here. So that's duplication. And the essence of database is for us to eliminate what we call redundancy or repetition. So also lack of data integrity. Yes, data integrity in the sense that if you update any record here, like you go to the admin or to the HR to upgrade your record, then you need to go to the finance also to do it. You need to go to the inventory also to do it. That is stressful, and it causes data, it lacks data integrity. Then also program data dependent, a situation in which program and data organized for one application is incomplete. It is if you update your record in HR office, you may just like you are tired, you don't want to go to any other office again. Then maybe as time roll on, you just forgot to do that. Then your data is what is incomplete in that particular organization. Those are the drawbacks of traditional approach to database, to saving record. Now, what's not the database approach? That's a pool of data is shared by multiple applications. So we have a single application that have what everything inside of this application. So you don't need to have a data that is isolated somewhere. So your data is inside a single container, and that data is what is stored in a way that there is no redundancy, there is no repetition in it. So this is an example of a database approach. You see, we have a container. The container contains everything. Then we have the DBMS. This is what we call DBMS, database management system. So from the database management system is where all these people, like these are different offices. This is where these people will now try to fetch your record from and generate various reports. For instance, your student, as a student database, you have your record and a portal. Then the ICT can fetch your record through the DBMS. Your department can also fetch your record through the DBMS. Your faculty can do the same. Then the finance can also do the same. That's why some of you, when you're trying to register your write your test this morning, some were saying invalid because the data is what is in a centralized database, and the data can what can sense, the DBMS can sense their what. So some have not are yet to pay their or do their registration. That's why you are what you are saying invalid. Are they being the data is not synchronized, it's not in a single database, then some of you will just what will just do the test without registering. So advantages of database: one, it improves strategic use of corporate data. It reduces data redundancy, like having duplication on your table. Then also it improves data integrity. Now, before we proceed, let me give you the code for your first attendance. Are we together? So code one, R79L9. 9. R79L9. I believe you can see that. That's the code for your first attendance. Can you see that? Okay, let's move on. So that's the code for the first attendance. Okay, so let's move on. Also, data and program independence. It is they are not independent on their own. They have what they are dependent on one. They depend on the DBMS to access the data. So better access to data and information, standardization of data access, then a framework for program development, then better overall protection. All these are the advantages of data. Now the disadvantages is what it costs. Yes, it is costs. It is costly. Yes, increased cost of specialized staff. It is to operate a database. It's always costly. Again, it increased vulnerability, like in the sense that there might be some loopholes in the software which an insider threat can launch in order or can use to launch their attack and the likes. Then data modeling and database models. We have planned data redundancy, the data model, the entity relationship diagram. That's the relationship that exists between different tables. Then we have the relational database terminology. What are the things that we use in relational database? Why is this thing not stopping? Oh, so we have selecting, then we have projecting. So data manipulation that eliminates rows according to certain criteria, just like the criteria we displayed the other time, like select name where this is this. So that's part of the stuff we use in data in relational database to manipulate data. You select a particular record. Then we have projecting, like data manipulation that eliminates columns in a table. Then we have joining, like to join two or more tables together. And also we have linking to relate with traditional database. And this is an evaluation question. Then exploring Microsoft Access. So Microsoft Access is a database software that we use to save record, and we can also use it to, once you use it to save record or to save data, you can preview the data in form of table or in form of in form of report as well. So Microsoft Access. How do you load Microsoft Access? You click on the Start button. I believe you know where your Start button is on your system, or you use the window key. Just click on the window key on your keyboard, then it will display the Start a menu for you. From the menu, you locate Program. Click on Program, then you now choose Microsoft Access. So Microsoft Access is help to what to manage information from a single data file. Then working with tables in Microsoft Access, we make use of tables. We make use of what again? We make use of various feeds and column, because our table will contain rows and column. Then we make use of form as well. So a table is a collection of data about a specific topic. Like this can be Oh, what is this? Sorry. Oh, I'm trying to draw. Okay, I think I've seen trying to draw a table here, but it's showing another thing. Oh my God. Are we on the same page? Why is this thing loading? Hello? Trying to cancel. Okay, let's move on. I'm trying to draw a table. Just like a table is just like a row and a column. Like you draw a line diagonally, sorry, a line, horizontal line and vertical line, like they have row and column. So that's where, and each row, or once you draw a line horizontally and diagonally, like together to cross each other part, then you have what we call a cell. So that cell is where you save your record. That's where you put your feed. And the table, we have what we call a table head. That table head is where your entity will be, like a name, the gender, the level, and the grade. Why the record under it is what we call an attribute. That is each value of the table. So Microsoft Access provides two ways to create a table. You can create a blank table, that is an empty table. That's just like the way you can draw an empty table in Microsoft Word. Then in a table, in a data sheet, you can also create a table by using an add edit view to launch a table. Then we have what we call primary key. I think I've talked about this primary key earlier, that a primary key is used to identify a key uniquely, or it is used to identify a record uniquely. That these allow the you to have easy access to your record. Like for instance, a student, you have your a student, the primary key of a student can be your student. No, it's not can be. It's is your matric number. So matric number is your own primary key. Once I need any record, or I need your record, I'll just get your matric number, supply your matric number to the form, then it will display everything about you. So a matric number or a primary key is the power of a relational database system such as Microsoft Access come from the ability to quickly find and bring together information stored in a separate table using query. It is, for instance, the query that was issued the other time, select a record from this where so did. So I will just like select student's name where the matric number is. Once I issue your matric number, then in that sense, it will display only the record of that student for me with that matric number. So in Microsoft Access, your a primary key can be generated, or can be written by the user, or can be auto numbering, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it depends on how you want the key to be generated. Then we have what we call a single feed primary key. That's your ID number. So if you have a feed that contains a unique value, such as your ID number or part of the number, you can designate that feed as a primary key. That's under auto-generate number. It's immediately that you enter to the next line, the number will generate itself, like 1, 2, 3, 4 to the end. In that sense, you don't have power over such primary key. Then we have multiple file primary key. That's where you use different key, like a primary key and a secondary key. So we use that in the sense that maybe we have a name. You know, in a class, we can have a student that have the same surname, that they have the same surname and the same first name. So in that case, we have what we call a multiple feed, because you can search by your by your surname, and it will display like 10 students. So you can also search by your by your first name. So in that sense, then we are making use of what we call the multi-feed primary key. So in a situation where you can guarantee the uniqueness of any single feed, so you may also designate 2 or more feeds to serve as your primary key. I believe you understand that we have you do not have matric number. You only have your name to identify you. So in that sense, we cannot use only the surname because we can have thousands of people bearing the same surname in the class. Then open a query. How do you query your database in Microsoft Access? So you can open a select, a cross tab, or an action query in design view. It is in Microsoft Access, we have what we call a design view. So you can open a select or a cross tab query to use to fetch your data. So the essence of query is that we want to fetch a data from a pool of data. Just like I stated earlier, that your bag, you have a lot of items in your bag. So you can pick anyone out at any time. Now, in a container or in a database that we have a pool of items or record, if we want to fetch out one item out, or if you want to fetch out an item, you use what we call a query to do that. So opening a query in design view. So how do you do that? Microsoft Access can often create a query for you. So you don't need to design the query from scratch. So you select the query, then you issue the parameters you want there. So this is simple, unlike when you are using your SQL that you need to be writing some query. So using the query view, then it's easy for you to fetch your the data. So we have the parameter queries and we have the cross-tab queries. Now, before we proceed, let me call the second code for the attendance. So we have 2WCCD. 2WCCD. Do you get that? The second attendance code is 2WCCD. So an SQL query. What is SQL? That's we call it structural query language. So it's a query used to create an SQL statement. Example, we use the select, we use the insert, we use delete and the likes. No, sorry. Okay. No more. Okay. 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 Yes. Okay. Okay. Please kindly give me 5 minutes to sort something out. Thank
Maybe the students are listening. Oh, mail that your mail address. It's on my slide, but I'll give you.
Can I continue? The slide is now okay.
Oh, this is your slide.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I believe we are all here. Sorry for the break in transmission. So earlier I was trying to explain what structural query language is. So because you need it when you're working with Microsoft Access. So it's a query that you create using the SQL statements. And what are the SQL statements? Like select, insert, delete, modify, and update. Because in a record, you will need to insert, or in a table, you will need to insert record into your table. You will need to update record, and also you need to modify or delete record. So same thing is applicable to Microsoft Access, that whenever you have a form or you have a table, there's no way you will not use all this statement. So example of SQL specific query are the union query, that is to merge or to combine two columns together. Like, I believe you understand what a column is when you have a table. Okay. When we have a table, so these are column like name, age, and gender. So these are column one, column two, column three. So you can merge two columns together, like want to merge name and age together, like Shayo 25 and the like. So we use the union query to do that. Then we also have the pass-through query. Then to to send command directly to the open. By the time I use for 5 minutes, then okay, maybe I'll just use 1 hour then. Go to August. Then we have the pass-through query. This is used directly with the open database connectivity, such as the Microsoft Fox Pro and the likes. So working with reports, earlier I stated that it was stated that your data can be in form of report and it can be in form of table or in form of visualization. There's using charts and the graph. So in Microsoft Access, we have what we call reports in Microsoft Access, where you can use to display the report of all the items or the data in your database. So a report is an effective way to present your data in a printed or in a printable format for people to see. I believe a report can be in this form, like name, then the name will be in front, then age, everything will be. This can be. This is an example of a report that you have on a row or on a table. So most of the information in a report comes from you using the SQL statement or the query statement. It is you can display a report of age and their level, or the name or matric number and your grade, just like the way you normally see your score being pasted on the wall, like the matric number. We may skip the name, then your test score or your exam score. That's a typical example of a report. And these are evaluation questions. Now, working with Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel comes from what we call a spreadsheet. That is the general name for Excel. We call it spreadsheet. That is, a spreadsheet is a package that we use for calculation, for mathematical calculation and the likes. Then under spreadsheet, we have what we call the Microsoft Excel. We have the Lotus 1, 2, 3, and the likes. But the major one that people use that is well pronounced is Microsoft Excel. So Excel comes in form of a table, which is in row and column. So the row and column, each of the row and it is tagged as A to maybe A to Z, then 1, 2, 3. So each of these cells, we call it with their row and the column and the row. That is, this one can be cell A2, cell B2. That is, you use the name the name of the row and the column to call the cell. So students, oh sorry. So the objective we've described is, let's go. So a spreadsheet is a group of text and numbers in a rectangular grid, just like I displayed earlier. Like anything like this, we call it a cell. So that's a cell. So spreadsheets are often used in business for budgeting, inventory, and the like. So maybe you don't have money to build a robust database. You can start with Excel, using Excel to take an inventory of your business. Also, you can even use Excel in your home. Maybe as an housewife, you can use Excel to know to do the budgets, to do your budgets on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis. Even as a student, we have a budget on our phone. It's made of Excel. You can use how do you spend your money and what are the income or what is coming in. So spreadsheet is a computerized ledger which is divided into row and column. I believe you know that this is row and this is column. So the one up there is what is the column, and for you to call each of these cell, you use the column and the row. You merge it together to call the name. Then cell, the intersection of the row and the column is what we call the cell. That is the intersection of this. The column, let's assume this is A and this is 1, 2, 3. So if you want to call this cell, you say this is cell A1, cell A2, cell A3. That's what it's meant by the intersection of row and column is used to call a cell. And all your work, all your calculation will be inside a cell. So this is an example of it. You can see this is cell A3, Adam A3, cell A3. So if you want to perform any calculation using this, now let's take for instance, I want to sum this number. Now, before you sum anything in a cell, you have to append the equality sign, the equal to sign. That is equal to, you first of all put equals to, then sum. Then you open bracket. So which cell are we adding together? Cell B3, column, cell B8. So using this, it will display the sum of this column for you. I believe you're on the same note. So cell reference by column, then by number, that is the column and the number. Then active cell surrounded by an heavy border. So if you see anything like this, then it means that what is an active cell. That's where your cursor is. That is the name, the normal cursor you have in Microsoft Word that looks like one. That is what is represented as what as a rectangle here. So anything you see like this, it's or we target as an active cell. So column heading above each column. So column designated with letter. So here is what we call the column. That's the letter. Why the row is the number. And if you want to call any cell, you said cell the column, then the column, then the row, which is cell A1. So under cell A1, we have what? We have students. Under cell B1, we have test one. I believe you get that. So let's move on. Row heading to the left of each row designated with number. So type of cell entry. We have a constant, so an entry does not change. When we say something is constant, it is a literal, it will never change. Like whatever you put in that cell, it won't change. Like you put name. So name in the cell will never change. So it can be numeric and it can be value or descriptive. And if it is numeric, like a pi, 3.142, so it's what? It will not change. Then we can also put function in our cell. The function like you want to calculate something equal to sum. So it can what? It can also be put in your cell. The formula also can also be put in your cell. Then common use interface. We have the workbook and we have the worksheet. Let me straight over the head like this. This is your workbook. Then under the workbook, we have what? We have 3 sheets. Like I believe you can see that. So the entire here is workbook. Then we have the worksheets, worksheet 1, worksheet 2, and worksheet 3. Then toolbars. These appear at the top of the Excel file. I believe we should see like this is the tools bar. See it here. A lot of tools are here. We call it toolbar. Why the one next to it is what we call the standard tools bar that you can use to pick. These are they are all small icons that you can use at any time. Then the toolbar appear beneath the menu bar, contain buttons that perform commonly used function, standard toolbar, formatting toolbar, and a lot. Then if you want to open a file menu, maybe you want to open a new file, a new workbook or a new worksheet, we use you follow this process to do that. Then under file, we have the new create command, then open file, you save your document, then also you print your worksheet. So this is what we're talking about. Once you click on this file, you see the new, the open, the print, and save as. So this is the title bar, just like you can see here. Then we have the standard tools bar. They are full of icons that you can use to perform your activities. Then we have the menu bar, which are the list of commands. Then we have the formatting tools bar, then and the likes. Then this is how to save. Maybe if you want to open an existing file, just click on file, then you select open. Once you select open, it will display something like this for you. Let me quickly call the third attendance code. Then also in saving, this is how to save. You click on file, then you click on save as. Then once you do that, then it will tell you what name do you want to save your work with. So the third code or the third attendance code is RWXN9. I believe you can see it clearly. That's the third attendance code. RWX9. RWXN9. Okay, this is the use of the how to save. That is, you have two types of saving in any computer application package. We have the save and we have the save as. Save as. The save as is a one-time saving that you use. Maybe you have a new document that have not been saved before. You use the save as. While the save is a continuous saving, which you can use the shortcut key Control S, that you use that one continuously for your work to be updated, like you are updating what you've saved initially. Then the type of the file menu, like that, those are all the works you have on your Microsoft Excel. Then also, this is an active cell. I think we've explained this earlier. Then this app, this is maybe you are trying to perform some calculation and you are not getting it right. You can easily use the app and type search there to display it for you. So hands-on exercise, I think we do this during the practical week. So I think the slide is many. Okay, modifying the worksheets in the Excel command. It is, you can actually like enter, just like you are entering text inside your file. That is, after you save your row, you can insert new row or insert new column. So you can add row to the column or add. Okay. Okay. Oh, please kindly note that you have to submit the attendance I've given you now. Do it now, please. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have occupied a row like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's no space here. So once you click on any of where you want to insert a row or a column, you just make your cell to be there like this, an active cell. Then go to insert and click and select row. Then it will display a new row for you, or you use your mouse to do you click on the left button of the mouse, then you click insert, then it will insert a new row for you therein. So these are how to insert a row, then how to select the entire page of the row. Then the page setup, maybe if you are trying to print, then how can you print it? If you want to print in a portrait, that is a normal A4, or if you want to print in a landscape. So this is where you can do that. Then display the cell, the formula of your the formula. So I think I've said that earlier, that before you display any formula, you use the equal sign. Then you can now use any type of formula, maybe multiplication, division, product, and the like. Then this is the printed format, showing you how it's going to be when you send it to the printer. Then the hands-on practical too will be done on your practical day. I think we are stopping here. I mean, Mr. Avon, you want to come in? Or we should stop here. Okay, thank you, everybody. See you next. Thank you. Okay, sir.
It's like continuous next week.
Yes. Okay. Next week.